Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me again today. I had so much fun making the previous video last week that I decided to take it up a notch. So what we're gonna do today is take a look at how drums are programmed for a pop song. This is the beat that I'm working with. It is full of small rhythmic elements, which is why I chose it for this video. But before we jump into this video, if you are an artist and you're looking for a music producer to help you with your music, there's a link to a quick form in my description that you can fill and you can get in touch with me. With everything out of the way, without any further ado, let's get into the video. So first things first, this is the song. I will make you listen to the whole track first. What you just listened to is a demo that I sent to an artist for one of their projects. So yeah, let's dive straight into the drums. For the first verse, I wanted to keep the drums fairly simple, and I started with just some hi-hats and a snare. The reason why I chose to do this was because the piano was already playing a rhythm and there was some synths behind it that were adding to the rhythm. So the hi-hats and the snare play for 4 bars and after that the kick comes in. This is the rhythm progression if you want to take a look. I'll play this with the piano so that you can listen to it. You see how the hi-hats and the snare are copying the piano notes? It is to accentuate the rhythm of the piano. And when the kick comes in, so this is a fairly simple drum groove, but the beat still needed some rhythm. So instead of adding some hi-hat loop or some top loop, I decided to design something myself. So this is what I made. It sounds super fun and I'll show you how I did it. So I've always been fascinated with using crowd sounds in songs as ambiences. I found this one sound called African Market with Kids and it sounds like this. Just some plain ambience noises. And to this sound, what I did was I added some low pass. Now all I needed to do was add some rhythm to this sound. And the next step was to add shaper box on the 16th rhythm preset. And it sounded like this. It sounds so dirty and interesting. The next thing I did was I bounced this in place and And this is the file. Now to add some further effects on this, I added another shaper box on the pan setting. So now it's alternating between the left and the right speaker. When I added this to the drums, it sounded like this. And with the song. Now let's take a quick look at these small effects. I'll play these soloed. So this here is what I call a reverse synth effect. I bounce the synths that are playing some chords and then I reverse them, and this is how it sounds. It gives a riser kind of a feel. Next I added a bunch of cymatic sounds. They sound like this, followed by a snare sound and a reverse snare. It makes a nice riser kind of a thing. Next, let's take a quick look at the drums for the chorus. This is what they sound like. A fairly simple groove to which I added the cymatics perk loop. I wanted to maintain the same bounce from the first verse, and this fit perfectly here. Apart from this, I added two new rhythmic elements, one of which is this reverse kind of a clap, which comes on every 2 bars. And layering it with a snap. This is something that you can also try in your own productions to spice up your drums. What I have found is adding a secondary snare or a clap on every 3rd or 6th beat of an 8-bar loop helps you break that continuity. So this is a good example of that. The next interesting thing is this high perk, which sounds like this. Sounds weird on its own, but when I added some delay on top of it, it sounded like this. And with the whole groove, this is what it sounded like. And it's only coming towards the end of every 4 bars. Now to transition from the chorus to a new verse, I again added this reverse synth effects and the reverse crash. The next interesting thing that I would like to show you is this reverse piano effect that I created. It was created using this existing piano melody that we had. I simply bounced this in place, went ahead and reversed it, placed this 1 bar before so it acts as a transitioning element between the chorus and the verse. Now to this sound I added a couple of plugins, the first plugin being this envelope shaper called STFU. Next I added on a stock tremolo plugin from Logic. But you need to take a look at what I did in this plugin. Keep an eye on the rate parameter. I simply went and automated the rate parameter of this plugin. Next I added OTT by X for records. Again I automated this depth parameter from this plugin. So the depth of the compression is now being controlled by the automation. And finally I added this delay plugin from Valhalla. Again automating the mix parameter. It acts as a perfect transitioning element between the chorus and the verse. Now for the second verse, I continued the same rhythm from the previous verse, and one small change that I made to this was add a 4 on the floor kick pattern. This is being complemented nicely by the same rhythmic chops element that we had in the first verse. Now here's another tip. Whenever you have a 4 on the floor kick pattern, there will mostly be a snare on top of the second and the fourth kick. So what you want to do is reduce the velocity of the second and the fourth kick. The first and the third kick will be on the maximum velocity, that is 127, and you can reduce the second and the fourth to somewhere about 100 or 105. Had I not done this, it would have lacked dynamics, and somewhere it also lacks that human touch. So what you generally do is reduce the velocity of the second and the fourth kick. It also lets your snare cut through the mix. One more thing that I forgot to show you is this cool little glass hit. I love adding Foley elements to any song because I feel they bring so much life to the song. Nowadays in modern pop production, all the sounds that we use are made synthetically. So adding Foley sounds, it's like giving some natural feel to your song. And to this final chorus, I wanted to bring in some more energy. So I found this Make Pop Music loop, hi-hat loop. It's called Ping Pong Hats. It sounds very cool. I'll show you how it sounds. With our previous perk loop, this is what it sounds like. And with our drum kit. Adding our FXs back. It is very easy to make your song sound crowded with so many rhythmic elements. That is why you can rely on basic techniques like volume automation and panning to separate these elements. You can see how I have placed all these elements in their own space in the stereo field by using just panning and volume. So with that, I would like to finish today's video. This was a very specific topic that I wanted to touch on, and I had a lot of fun making it. Whenever I program drums for any song, my primary focus is on filling the pockets. But it is also very easy to overdo it, so you need to strike the right balance. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this video and you found the tips and tricks that I showed you helpful. Another reminder, if you're an artist looking for a music producer to help you with your music, I would love to jump on board. You can find a quick form in the description below and we can get in touch. With that, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Peace.